So did you hear that they're going to make a remake of Home Alone?
No.
Aye, with the recent Fox and Disney merger, they're going to do a remake for the Disney Plus streaming service. I swear, if they don't get Macaulay Culkin back, I will have a shit fit. Oh, hello! I'm Michael McGorry.
I'm Matthew Culkin.
And welcome to Movies and Milk, the 1 millionth YouTube channel to discuss movies. Where today we're going to show our sensitive side for our first video and discuss the 10 movies that make us cry. So we should maybe say up front that these aren't in any particular order. He's came up with a list of 5 films that have made him cry in the past. So have I. And we've compiled them together to make a top 10 list. But then again, we haven't previously discussed it, so we could have the exact same list. Alright, how many dunks do you usually give it?
About 4 or 5.
About 4 or 5. I can't get it in. Breaks the mind, you go, you alright? Going away like your father.
So Michael, what is your first entry to the film that made you cry?
Well, my first entry was just so happened to be the first film ever to make me cry. It was Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
No.
I loved Wallace and Gromit growing up. I still do to this day. But that bit at the end, where Wallace sadly perishes.
This is going to be spoiler filled.
Oh, we should have maybe said that up front. Spoilers. When Wallace dies, pretty big spoiler, and Gromit is reduced to tears. I'm like, he's a tough nut. He shouldn't be crying. Now I'm crying. What's happening here? I've never cried at a film in my life at this time. And yeah, no, it just ruined me. It doesn't make me cry anymore because I know that Wallace just comes back to life as soon as he smells cheese. It's very goofy, it's very silly. That's just Wallace and Gromit. But I never once thought that Wallace and Gromit would have the balls to make me cry. But as a kid, that scene just ruined me. Matthew, tell me one of the many films that made you cry, because we should stay up front, Matthew's a pussy and will cry at almost anything.
I do. I don't know what it is. Since I've reached the age of 24, I've been crying at more films recently.
I thought you were 36. Anyway, film that made you cry, give me one.
I think the first film I remember to really scar me was Titanic, with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
The scene obviously at the end where we've got the Never Let It Go and she lets him go.
No.
I was really disappointed at that bit. I was like, you see, I'll never let it go, but you let it go anyway.
It just sinks.
It just sinks to the bottom. But it's not that scene. The scene that really got to me was the scene at the end where Rose is in her bed and you don't know if she's dead or if you don't know if she's dreaming or she's joined in the afterlife by all the people that perished in the Titanic. But the scene where Rose greets Jack again and they've got a wee reunion together and it's the James Horner strings gone at it. It is absolutely beautiful. It makes me cry every time still to this day, as a 36-year-old man.
Yeah. And then Celine Dion came in at the credits and ruined it completely. Yeah. I have to say, Titanic is a pretty cliched choice there. So my second entry on the list is still staying within the realms of animation and also within the realms of cliched choices, because my next one is Up. But it's not the cliched go-to choice. It's not the first 4 minutes that make me cry. The first 4 minutes is very emotional and it does bring me close every time. But the scene that gets me is the scene where Carl is like, Russell, Doug, Kevin, I've had enough. I just wanted to get my house on top of the waterfalls. You all piss off. I'm just going to sit in my house and just wait for death to come knocking at my door. He then has a wee flick through the adventure book that him and his wife created. And then he finds out that whilst on her deathbed, his wife Ellie continued making a scrapbook of their life together. And then there was that little quote at the end, I forget what it's called, it's like, go out and have your own adventure or something. And just that extreme close-up of Carl as he's reading it.
His wee face.
Yes. Did it ever make you cry?
Up never made me cry. It was one of the Pixar films that didn't make me cry. Terrible film.
Yeah, I've
absolutely
never
terrible
liked it.
film. It was no
0 out of 10, one of the worst.
Made me cry.
Pigs are, what are you doing? I was just crying because it was so shit.
I know, because I attached millions upon millions of balloons to my house and I only got to Greenock. So my second film on the list, it's a film that it's more recent than the majority of my choosings here. But A Star Is Born from Bradley Cooper. That was an incredible film just in itself. But the last 10 minutes of that film completely. Oh, son, you were there.
I was there. You ran to the bathroom as soon as the credits started, and I went to the bathroom afterwards in a slightly slower pace, and I heard you in the cubicle next to me. You were blubbering like a baby.
I had to put it on my list because I think that's the first time in a cinema I've actually had to run to the theatre, not for explosive diarrhoea, but instead for the very fact that I was crying
too much.
Bradley Cooper, what did he do?
Yes. Jesus Christ. So please excuse that. Mother's currently making a milkshake.
There you go. But he basically hangs himself in his garage. Yeah. But it's not really that made me cry. It was obviously the song "I'll Never Love Again," which was written by Bradley Cooper, which was found by Lady Gaga when she was looking through his stuff, and it was actually a suicide note.
Yes. Yeah.
She thought it was a song, and I think that's what makes it so emotional.
No, I will say that if the song had went on for another second, I think it would have got me. What was it?
It's a hard cut.
It's that hard cut.
It's a hard cut from Lady Gaga to Bradley Cooper just sat by a piano. So
yes.
It's absolutely beautiful.
One of the best hard cuts in film history, I would say.
So.
She's up on stage, it's all glitz and glamour, and then a hard cut to this depressed man prior to his death.
Singing his suicide note.
Singing his suicide note.
To his lady,
His Lady Gaga. So the next film on my list, it's quite weird because the first film I hated. But I quite like this one. This is a sequel. It came out just last year. It's fairly recent again, just to continue on with the theme that you brought up in the last entry. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It's primarily the scene at the end. Now again, I had no interest in the first film. First film is very boring. It's one of the most boring musicals I've ever watched. So it got to me. This was a film that we also saw together.
Yes, we did. Yes, in IMAX.
Yes. So thankfully, did you see me cry?
I said yes. I heard you.
Yes, no, I was
sniffles.
I was sniffing like I had a cold. But there's also a scene very early on in the film as well, where
Pierce Brosnan.
I was going to say Bryan Cranston. Pierce Brosnan has an emotional breakdown. And he sings SOS to himself.
Yes, he does. Yes, but in a very melancholic manner.
Yes, he's not a good singer.
He's
but,
not.
in that scene.
That's what made it
works.
emotional. I think that's what makes it emotional, the fact that he isn't a good singer.
And
he's got that sort of crackle,
yes.
that emotional thing.
James Bond, I think he cries in that scene. Yeah. I'm like, oh Christ.
It's James Bond.
It's James Bond, he's broke down, just like he's Aston Martin. Probably once, surely.
Many times,
maybe.
I mean, he had a car with missiles in it.
It probably broke down.
It probably broke down.
What's it? Is it twist?
Twist it off. Twist it.
Twist it, right, alright, okay. And then you like that.
Then dunk it.
I've never done this before.
Dunk it.
It just takes too long. What, do I need to let all of it off? No, just... Why? Why? For God's sake. And then do I just eat it?
You've done it wrong though.
I've done it wrong.
Why did you take it off to put it back on?
You tell me to put it back on.
I did not.
We'll play that back.
So my third choice, Michael, and it's going back to the earliest times that I was crying at movies. A little film called Pay It Forward, which stars Haley Joel Osment, Helen Hunt and Kevin Spacey, unfortunately.
Christ, that would make me cry being in a film with Kevin Spacey.
So the film is basically about this wee guy. His dad is no longer in his life. His mum's a single mother. Haley Joel Osment's he's a philosopher. He's a young philosopher in this film. He likes to make every situation quite positive as it can be.
Yes.
And by the end of the film, he decides to stand up to the bullies. He unfortunately gets stabbed in the process, and he falls to his death. And basically, the ending scene of the film is Helen Hunt and Kevin Spacey watching a home movie made by Haley Joel Osment. And there's a little vigil held outside of the family home with thousands of people holding candles. It is beautiful. It's a little bit over the top, but it got me every time. And I'm still watching it to this day. It really gets me. It really pushes that button.
So my next film, my second last film, is Moon with Sam Rockwell and again Kevin Spacey. There seems to be a running theme here. I hope one of yours isn't American Beauty. So have you seen Moon?
I have seen Moon. Yes,
You have seen Moon. Do you know what scene I'm talking about?
Yes.
Do you remember it that well?
Yes.
Basically, throughout the film, Sam Rockwell, the one that we primarily focus on, is a clone of another Sam Rockwell from the past. And the Sam Rockwell that we've been following this whole time gets inside a rover and gets a live feed from his daughter, who has grown up since he last saw her.
What he remembers.
It's a very confusing film.
It is very confusing.
Well, it's not very confusing. It's
very
easy to understand.
convoluted.
It's
Very
convoluted to explain for those that haven't seen it. But for those that have seen it, they know what scene I'm talking about. The Sam Rockwell that we've been following the entire time just has a mental breakdown, and it's so sad. He's alone on this crater of mass with a robot voiced by Kevin Spacey and another clone of himself. So he's just having the worst luck. And I think his health is deteriorating as well, so it's a mess, and it left me in an emotional mess.
So the second to last film on my list, Michael, is a film that I believe that you have seen. I think we actually I don't think we went to the cinema together to see this, but certainly a film that I think you have seen and you'd have watched it at Christmas time, and that film is It's a Wonderful Life.
Nope.
Starring James Stewart. You've not seen it?
I've not seen it.
You are the worst human being, second to Kevin Spacey. Anyway, at the end there's this lovely, lovely scene where they're all gathered around the Christmas tree and all the neighbours and all the townsfolk come into the house and all sing Auld Lang Syne. It is absolutely beautiful. But that's not only the scene that makes me cry, there's a scene earlier into the film where they get together, Jimmy Stewart, and I can't mind what's her name?
Sarah Pascoe.
I fucking hate being on camera. The scene that really gets to me is the scene at the end with the Auld Lang Syne. Not only because it's refreshing for a Scotsman to hear a Scottish poem in an American film back in the day, but also one of my favourite actors and actress is also in that scene. You know, it's I have to watch it.
I might give it a watch.
You will.
I'll
This Movies and Milk pish is out the window.
The previous films that I've discussed, they get me, but sometimes they don't. Like Wallace and Gromit doesn't get me anymore. I've grown up since then. It depends on the day, depends how I'm feeling. This last film, however, gets me every single time I watch it. It's one of my favourite films of all time.
I think I know what it is.
You want to see it then?
Big Fish.
Yes, you're right, Matthew. It is, of course, Big Fish, directed by Tim Burton, starring Ewan McGregor. We see a bunch of his stories that he tells his son. His son doesn't believe him throughout the entire film, and then he's finally on his deathbed, and his son tells him about his funeral and how that will turn out, and then all the characters that he has encountered along the way are all there. He talks about that, and there's just this image of his son carrying him into the water as he sort of swims away, turns into a fish. It's very, very metaphorical, very Tim Burton, very weird, very abstract, but everything from the music to the acting to just the euphoria of all these different colourful characters all coming together to celebrate this one man's life. And it's just, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It's not sad. It's bittersweet. Yes, very bittersweet. And that's the endings that tend to get me the most.
The ones that just catch you off guard.
Aye, you know, the ones that catch me, reel me in, off guard.
Big Fish.
Big Fish.
So the final film, and it's not the film that's made me cry the most in life, but it's certainly one that I think again you should see. The Umbrellas of Cherbourg, or Les Parapluies de Cherbourg, I think it is in French. Les Parapluies de Cherbourg. The scene that we're specifically talking about is a scene which involves a song. I can't remember. Fuck me.
I think you would have wrote down notes before we done this, like you told me to do.
I did, but... Okay, so the song, we've just found it there. Devant les Garages, which is a song that plays when Guy reveals to, I believe her name's Madeline, he reveals to his girlfriend that he is leaving for the war and he won't be back in some time. And obviously during that time, you weren't too sure if the soldiers were going to return home or not. You know, you don't know. Very beautiful song. That mixed with the incredible acting that's taking place, just a perfect moment, and it really gets you. And it's quite a strange way to, you know, get the tears going. You know, singing it.
Considering the fact that the word garage is in the title of this.
I don't know if it's garage or garage.
Garage.
But it's a beautiful scene. If you haven't seen the film, please go see it. If none of you have seen the film, please go see it. If you're a big fan of La La Land, this is a perfect film to watch beforehand. Cameraman's nearly sleeping there. That's me done.
That's us done. That's the end of the video there. Be sure to like, subscribe to Movies and Milk here on YouTube, and be sure to follow us over on Instagram at Movies and Milk for updates and other fun stuff. I've been Michael McGorry.
I've been Matthew Cole.
And we'll see you again for Movies and Milk. We'll work on the outro next time we come back. Oh, hello, I'm Michael McGorry. That's Matthew Coleman.
Semi-skimmed milk.
This is semi-skimmed milk.
Yay!
In fact, I don't think he goes to the army.
What?
So my third choice, Michael.
Why are you looking at